Hello survivors, welcome to a brand new Soulstone survivor video. Today we have something really special for you and it has to do with multicasting. So we're going to push as much multicast as possible on the Arcane Weaver. The reason we do that is because of the Arcane Weaver's Ascension. Mana Infusion gives a lot of multiplicative multicast, and then we are going to be running Arcane Overload, which scales on the amount of multicast on our channel, on our character. So we're going to run Arcane Overload, Heartrending Strike, Last Stand with a swing, and then we also running the Ancestral Totem, which Ancestral Empowerment, which gives us Radiance, and then we're going to grab Radiance to Finesse, and Finesse increases the amount of multicast on our character as well. We're then going to run Efficiency Focus, Multicast Mastery, Synergetic, and Divine Legacy, and we're going to see if we can defeat a Sigil of Hate +4 with this. I believe we can. Obviously, having that additional 62% multiplicative multicast chance is going to be massive, and we're going to actually start off with Volkage and Vivolt because the entirety of this build is going to be focused on that multicast mastery. So Vivolt and Volkage actually have the ability to give us that radiance to Finesse, so we want to get that as quickly as possible. The beginning is going to be a bit rough. We don't have a second skill over here, but luckily we do have a little bit of Icy Veins, so that is going to help us just a tiny little bit. So let's see what happens. We need to get to at least level 2 to get a second skill, but as soon as we get one of the other skills or anything like that, we should be a-okay. Now, because we start off with the the Arcane Weaver's second weapon, if you want, you are going to get the opportunity to get yourself the Disarray to disoriented, but unfortunately with all the passives we will be taking, that unfortunately will not be the case for today's video. But if you yourself wanted to grab it, you are more than happy or more than likely to. Now, we do need arcane power, but we need to get power first, so we're going to get Ancestral Totem. We're going to banish that, and some things like increasing the amount of mana you gain is actually going to be pretty big here, because we are going to be relying on the multicasting of our actual Ascension as well. So trying to get more mana from our Ascension is going to be very helpful here as well. But there we go, we did get the Ancestral Totem or Empowerment, and that's going to be extremely powerful for us. So just going to wait for it to spawn. That's going to give us our Radiant stacks, and then that's going to help us do more damage as well. Now, the way that the totems work is they do stack, so we need to try and get as many as possible. I think about 5 or 6 is a sweet spot where you start to see insane amounts of damage occurring from them. So just remember that if you're trying to get it to work. Look for about 5 to 6 of them, and you'll be in a very, very good spot with the damage that they provide you with the Radiance. I'm going to grab one slow. That's just going to give us the slow for a bit later. And now we can grab the Arcane Power, start getting all of that juiciness. And every time we see a green or a blue or a purple multicast mastery, we are going to grab it, because remember, this is general multicasting, and that's what the Arcane Overload is going to be scaling off of. So yes, you can get all the other multicasting and all that stuff for it, which will help it multicast, but the damage scaling is off your general multicast, and that's why we need Finesse, and that's why we need the Arcane Power as well, because those are going to increase your general amount of multicasting, and that's going to increase the damage of our Arcane Overload when we eventually find it. Like I mentioned, we do have to go really slow here, which is not the end of the world. It's just a little bit slower than usual. Alright, finally we get a slash. We get cast frequency. The frequency of crystals appearing is fine. Come on, game, don't be like this. There's Last Stand. And we're just looking for 2 more. Heartrending Strike, and then the Arcane Overload. Now, what we could have done that would have maybe helped out a little bit is we could have actually gone for something like slash inclination, but having the reroll mastery in this game mode is absolutely necessary, especially with the Titan passives and things like that. We really need to have those passives. Right, and there we go, multicasting like a madman. So Last Stand is going to provide us with fragility, it's going to give us condemned, it's going to gain finesse as well. You can already see we're on 120 finesse stacks, and that is without the bonus from having Radiance get turned into finesse. There's slow to disarray. I don't feel like we're getting enough levels or like the reroll is working, but it should be. Cast frequency on everything is going to be the most important thing. We finally got all of our skills. This is the loadout. We're going to take the Disarray once. And now if we want, we can go Disarray to disoriented. Like I mentioned, you can do it. I'm probably not going to end up doing it because we probably won't be able to fit it in. But we'll see what happens. If we do Aranak and we get the Goblin, then we'll do it. But if we don't get the Loot Goblin, then we go for Exposed on hit with Mhyzahet. Alright, visually this is quite hectic. There will be a whack ton of multicasting happening, so we do have to just be careful to turn it down, especially when we're fighting bosses. The visuals for Arcane Overload used to be really hectic. It used to be really nice to see these orbs flying with the AoE, but obviously because of the way it scales, it had to be toned down because you know, if you're trying to see it, especially when you're multicasting a whack ton, it's going to be very difficult. But just so you can see, we do 6.6 times damage so far on it. We're going to try and get that to as high as possible. Remember, the armor one, we got to about 100 times damage. This one's not going to get that high, but it's definitely going to be a very, very strong one. So over here, we're going to lock that because we want to grab both. There's multicast. Now, that multicast that we just picked up does not increase the damage. All right. So it doesn't matter if you get the multicast, it's multicast based on your character's multicast, not on the skills multicast. So we need to focus on this multicast over here, which is sitting at 288. That goes up by 62%. And then obviously we just grab as much of that as possible. We do want critical strike chance as well, but that's going to be very, very important. Over here, damage in area are going to be very good. So we're going to grab those. Cast frequencies and the multicasting, bulwark to aptitude, which is also another reason why we don't necessarily need disoriented, because we do get a lot of aptitude in the build anyway, which is giving us critical damage, and then disoriented is, you know, increased critical damage. So it's much of a matchness. It's the reason why we actually, oh, do you know what, we can't go poison to dazed. So we can actually do the Disarray to disoriented because we can't go poison to dazed. We're going to have to just get ourselves to 100% crit and get the Disarray. Because normally we'd go poison to crit, but we don't have poison in the build today. Unless we magically get bleed, Disarray to bleed, and then bleed to poison very quickly. So we've got this Titan, and I mean we could do it as the last Titan, and if we can get to the poison to bleed to poison by then we'll do it, but otherwise then we'll go Disarray to disoriented. Very optional as to what we get, but 421% multicast already, 9.5 times damage, and that's without any, you know, we only level 35. Pretty crazy. Alright, we're gonna banish all the damage upgrades. Because we don't need damage except for on Arcane Overload. We're going to remove duration, cast frequencies needed. And what I like about Last Stand is, I mean, already it's got quite a low cooldown right now, but because it lasts forever, we're permanently, you know, applying damage to the enemy or fragility stacks or anything to enemies and things like that. So very, very nice. But yeah, gonna have to lower the visibility because this is gonna be quite a hectic boss fight. Remove that, go for some life. Take the multicast over here, grab the cast frequency, and then a nice magnetic, just a little bit of extra pickup radius and XP gained. Alright, this is probably the hardest beginning But as soon as this boss gets absolutely defeated, we'll be in a much better space. Also, what we should have done is actually taken the +2 to the Ancestral Empowerment Totem, because that's where most of our Radiance comes from, and in the beginning Radiance actually deals a ton of damage for us. So I should have done that, we didn't, but it is what it is, it doesn't really matter too much. I mean, we still do damage, so all is good. Okay, we picked up our Ascension. We do need a little bit more upgrades to our Ascension, just to get it to maybe stay a little bit longer, so when we do pick up upgrades to it, it does get, does stay. Alright. Let's see, let's get a little bit of Expansive doesn't hurt. Grab ourselves the multicast. This is the most important thing of the entire build, is to go for whenever Radiance is triggered, you have a chance to gain Finesse. So that's going to be the most important thing. That's why we rush it. And now you're going to see just how quickly our Radiance, pushes up there to that level. So now we do the general thing. We defeat Broken so that we can do ourselves Shattered on hit. And then we're going to go for Mhyzahet for Exposed on hit. I did try this with Form on skill cast. I mean, we were running multicasting. I mean, we're already on a 300, 400 Finesse stacks. Remember, the buff itself is capped at 1,000. But the multicast, the general multicast, the multicast mastering, and the arcane power do not have caps. So, this Finesse is just one way of getting to a specific amount of multicasting really quickly, and that's why we're taking it. It isn't to obviously waste any form, shape, or, like a lot of hard work goes into this. So there we go, 690. We're already on 15 times the damage with some decent area of effect. Still a really large cast frequency time, so we're going to try and get that to be a little bit lower. But otherwise we'll be really good here. Okay, crits can cause that. We need area of effect is fine. Cast frequency, damage increase. That's going to increase. No, it doesn't. So this is actually not good. We'll grab that. Potency increases are good. Area of effect is good here. Over here we want a +2 to our totems. So let's try and find one. That's not it. Okay, finally. Alright, and then we got damage as well. And area of effect. So damage. +2. And we've got the area of effect as well. And you can actually see just how massive our area of effect is getting now. So we'll probably actually, even though I locked it, I don't think we need that. It doesn't hurt having too much area of effect, actually. We'll grab it. It's whatever. It doesn't hurt having a lot of area of effect. It's actually safer. Alright, we didn't get the bug on our rat person. Not that it actually matters. It's really not that important, but... and we don't have poison yet, so it doesn't actually matter. The fact that we got the bug means extra levels, which means extra strength. So I tried this out on the Shaman, and with the Shaman I got all the way to the Corrupted Void Hunter, and I made a mistake and we lost our HP. But the Shaman's Ascension doesn't help us in any way. So when we're running with the Arcane Weaver or the Sentinel or anyone that has the opportunity to grab increased multicast via their Ascension, that's going to be far superior for this specific build, just so that you get that multiplier on top of whatever it is that you actually get. So just remember that as well. You want to try and get as much of the multicasting as possible. Obviously things like this do help in terms of scaling it, but they don't actually help that much, because we're looking for general multicast, like I've mentioned a couple of times now. So Let's just reroll there. There we go. Good reroll. Multicast, cast frequency, increase the amount we gain, multicasting. Look at this. It's like the two of them want to be out together. Alright, frequency of crystals and other beautiful stuff for our ascension.
Step by step, the hunt takes shape.
Yeah, it's like we pick up 3 crystals and we get to full ascension, which is actually really nice. Okay, ascension's up. This is up. We've got a pretty decent amount, 875 multicast, which is 18.2. Still not as high as I'd like it to be. But the damage is here, so it doesn't really matter.
Bloody persistence.
Alright, the game does show you where these crystals are for you to pick up for your ascension as well, which is nice. So on the mini-map you can see where they drop.
Fragment claimed. The Titan feels it too.
Gonna have to play with visibility a bit lower. We're going to lock the damage, grab the lethality. We do get Disarray to bleed, so maybe we will get it. Arcane, no, we don't need that either, so we could actually banish this. Again, remember, oh, actually that's fine. But let's go swing to Arcane, so that means this and these are going to be active more often. Multicast, +1, cast frequency, so we don't need cast frequency on that anymore. And some movement speed, because movement speed right now is only based on our ascension, because we haven't picked up a single one. That's our first movement speed pickup for the entirety of this run. And now we can actually stand still because the golems, the totems spawn on top of us as soon as we start the round. So we actually just want to stand still, allow them to spawn, and let us do the radiation or radiance damage to the boss immediately. And we just got to dodge all of these red circles. Pick up our ascension where possible. So it's 4 crystals to get a full ascension out right now. What's nice is we do get a lot of block in the build as well, because of having slash and heart-rending strike. So we should actually be able to hit 90% block as well. So along with being a very strong, like that, having this bulwark over here is very, very strong. Along with having a lot of finesse, a lot of multicasting, we've also got a lot of block chance. Didn't really happen that time, but we should be able to get it quite well. Oh man, it's so juicy having a character with a lot of magnetics come to this area. I had it with the shaman run. I had like 200-300% magnetic, and you just see everything get pulled to you. It's just so satisfying. Like right now you have to run around when you've got a lot of magnetic, and you can just stand in the middle and everything gets vacuumed into your character. There's nothing more satisfying in this game than just picking up all that XP at one time. That was very, very satisfying. I will have to show you guys one day what it's like. Alright, finesse to bulwark. We can grab some block. This is a big upgrade. That's damage for just these two, so it can actually be banished, but because it's epic, it's not really that important, but we do need the potency. We do need that. There's a bleed. Like I mentioned, we can try and get bleed to poison. If we get the bleed to poison, I think dazed might be more important, just because of how much critical strike chance we have. But otherwise, yeah, because of this, we don't need the critical damage. We actually need critical strike chance. So we'll see what the game gives us. But I think we should be a-okay with where we are. We do need some... Ooh, okay, this is... We need to lock the potency. So grab the potency, and there's a damage. That's our last lock. Damage, and then increase the frequency of which they...
Power incarnate.
Yep. So it's on a 4.4 times multiplier. That is obviously going to get increased. Let's go to Mhyzahet first. Get the exposed on hit, and then we can focus on trying to get ourselves as much upgrades for the rest to go. But there we go, we're already on 1200 finesse. I mean, without... Okay, we got Arcane power up and running. We're on 1254 multicast chance, so 26 times damage, and that's without our ascension up. So let's see how much we get to. So 26.4. Even though we are getting a lot of multicasting or a lot of finesse, which by the way, a slice and dice from the samurai as well scales off of finesse stacks. So this is a good way to, you know, if you wanted, you swap out Arcane Overload and you can take slice and dice, and there you go, you've got a brand new attempt at something. So this is bugged. There is a bug here. Why do I have less multicast chance now? Why? It's not I'm very confused. 127. So this isn't multiplicative. I am like 90% certain that it's supposed to be multiplicative. So there might actually be a bug where it's not giving it to us multiplicatively. So that's not good. We will have to make a bug report there then. I'm so confused. I was like, hang on a second. Why is that working that way? That's not supposed to happen. We get the bleed poison. Thank you very much, game. Damage. Merciless. Multicast.
Step by step.
Need to pick up more crystals over here and see what's going on. So there we go, we got it. It's not multiplicative, it's only additive. But then is the damage as well. Okay, 141 damage, guys. Let's see what happens when we reduce or get rid of this. If it goes down to 120. I'm so confused. We just had 141 damage. And it's gone down to 101.
Progress demands persistence. Bloody
70. What is giving me damage? I am very confused here. Okay, I have no idea what's going on, but yeah, that's crazy. Something wild is going on in the neighborhood here. It's like the damage is multiplicative, but the multicast chance is additive,
momentum is power.
which makes no sense. It's not supposed to work that way.
Void fragment collected. The Titan's fate is sealed.
I think you get bonus stats every time you pick up one of the mana crystals. So that's why the stats are varying quite a lot. But besides for that, you should still be able to get like specific things going. So I don't know why it's being so difficult, if you want to call it that. But I have no idea what is going on there. Also now I don't know if a critical strike chance or if disoriented would be stronger. I feel like disoriented is stronger than dazed, but I could be wrong. Really cool about this build is the skill is completely randomly AoE, so I don't have to worry about, you know, whether I'm focusing on the boss or not. It just naturally occurs. So over here, like we said, we're going for all of our attacks now apply exposed, because exposed is going to increase direct damage taken by up to 12% for 6 seconds. The bonus is proportionate to the damage caused by each attack, and that's going to be calculated after the damage multiplier. So that's going to increase the amount of damage that we do with the skill. So that's massive. We're sitting on an 8.9. We did start on a 4.4. So our multicast is definitely up, just in general. I mean, 174 multicast. Going all the way up to 1,000, 2,000 multicast is crazy. Unlucky with a lot of potency. Would have liked to have seen a lot more potency occurring, but we never. I think Dazed is actually more powerful here. We've already got so much critical damage. We're on 1,000% already without disoriented. So getting more crit means more critical strikes occurring. I think that is much more powerful.
Void fragment collected. The Titan's fate is sealed.
Okay, let's go grab this over here.
Momentum is power. Keep moving.
What I need to check, 70 to 101%, it definitely makes a difference when you pick up the crystals themselves. So we need to just check here, wait for it to go back to 70. Yeah, there we go. Then we pick this up and we go to 141. So damage is weird. It went from 70 to 100, so it would have given us to the 100. And then it gave us an additional 40, which isn't 20% damage anyway. So that makes no sense. Like, where does that additional 20% damage come from? I'm stuck on trying to figure out the math here.
The Titan feels it too.
Also, the game is lagging so hard.
Progress demands persistence.
There's too much multicasting occurring. Alright, I don't think we're just going to go for damage. We're going to grab all the generic upgrades. Area of effect's fine. Damage increases are good. We should have taken that poison, but it's whatever. Finesse to bulwark. There's potency again. Should have taken the poison. Finally, let's grab it. Another potency. I'm not going to grab the area of effect. And I will just grab the general damage upgrade. Multicast, sorry, not damage. Beautiful damage being done to the boss.
We ascend.
Then we can grab ourselves more multicast. And, oh man, I think it's better to just grab ourselves the poison to Dazed. Like I mentioned, we actually get quite a lot of critical damage from aptitude. So I'm just going to grab the Dazed. As it is, we aren't even on 100% critical strike chance. I think the Dazed in the specific context is going to be much stronger. So we're going to grab it. We'll see what happens. So there's no Void King in this run, but we're definitely going to be able to assist, defeating the Corrupted Void Hunter. Hopefully it's everyone but the Spellblade, but it is what it is. Spellblade's definitely the hardest Corrupted Void Hunter, and then I think the Arcane Weaver comes after that. All the others are much easier or much simpler to deal with, but the Arcane Weaver with the Arcane Rift ability and having to watch where you're running quite often, just all that is much more difficult for us. But let's see what happens. Dazed being the... Oh man, okay. You don't need 9 totems of empowerment, to be honest, guys. That's probably why we are... actually. Has it? Okay, it hasn't. I am glad to see Arcane Overload is actually doing all the damage. I was worried that Radiance might be dealing far more damage due to the fact that we've got so much of it proccing so often. So, especially since we do take the efficiency focus to make it that Radiance procs more often. I think it just helps with the damage, especially earlier on. Having that Radiance proc early definitely helps you to increase your damage output. But like I mentioned, it is a bit slower. Also, there is an update coming soon, guys. I don't have a time or date for you, but I know that there is an update coming very, very soon. I'd give it maybe... I don't know. I can't give you a proper time, so I can't even say whether it will be a week, 2 weeks, a month. But there is a definite update coming. Very exciting. I don't know everything that's in the update. I just know that things are coming. So be excited. I do know one of the things that are happening is that the Legionnaire's Ascension is being fixed, because that's something I spoke to the developer about. Obviously some simple bug fixes of stuff that's been happening, like the Ascension for the Legionnaire, and then things like skipping the intros to the boss fights and the Void King fight, which is something that we've spoken about before on the channel and to the developers. So that's pretty cool. It's going to obviously cut down the video times, which obviously I could have just edited, but yeah, I do apologize about that. Okay, we're actually stuck in a corner there. Where are these bosses? There's 3, 4, all of them sitting next to each other. Very good. There's a blue up here. Let's just go and do that. It will save us time. Oh my. FPS drop galore. Just got to run next to everything, and the Radiance and Arcane Overload are going to absolutely destroy it. It's just really unfortunate that we can't show you the visuals just because of how ridiculous they are. But it is what it is. Multicasting, I guess we can go for that. Skill chain, we're nearly at 100% skill chain. That's probably why things are a problem. We're not going to grab this. That's just going to create more issues. Grab that. Grab cast frequency, health, cast frequency. We do want more. Actually, let's just reroll and grab as many multicasts and damage. Also, aptitude's good. There's a multicast, critical damage as well. So sitting on 17, there we go, 10. How much? 5.4. We are sitting on a multicast of 222%, 5.4 times damage multiplier. Let's see what occurs here, what happens. Right, it's not the spell blade. And there you have it. Plus 4 Sigil of Wickedness done and dusted with absolute ease. It doesn't even matter what we get over here. We could just grab the critical damage, whatever. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think about the build. Did you enjoy it? Was it fun? 2.6 trillion damage done by Arcane Overload. Doesn't matter on the actual bleed and all of that. Luckily enough, we didn't get lambasted with a whole lot of the bleed, disarray and thing passives. And we started off with the frost, so we could go, you know, to disarray quite quickly. But then we decided to go for the poison to Dazed instead, which worked out a little bit better. So hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.